So you know where people are polluted with idols because there's a brand called, I don't know if you guys know, it's called the True Religion, and the image of it is a Buddha, and our Jake, because it's an expensive brand. Jake loves to buy that brand, and let me get a real quick little image of it. And so they're expensive, ugly, expensive shirts, and they have the Buddha on it, and Jake loves them. I don't know why, but it's just because of the fact that they want to show off because they're expensive shirt. I think one shirt, T-shirt, is like $100 or something like that. Ugly shirts too, but you know, having that Buddha shirt on you, that's you going off though, because that's a heathen thing though. Having the Buddha, which is from the Moabites, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Moabites, and you have it on your shirt, you're pretty much symboling that.
Isn't that fucking funny? Buddha was born in like basically Afghanistan, because they taught this in high school. He was born in Afghanistan, went to India, and then ended up in Moab, and then now Moabites worship of fucking Afghanistan. Right?
And Buddha, he don't even fast. You know, you can tell by his stomach. You know.
Look at that's the brand right there. True Religion, and it's called True Religion. And our people, Jake loves buying these brand. Oh yeah.
And a lot of artists in the world sing about it.
Yeah, there's even one artist that he made a whole album called True Religion.
Man, see? And that's called honoring and worshiping. That artist is probably the Jake too, because these Jakes are always doing the wrong thing. You said the heathen ways, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm looking up the album real quick too, because how you said it, you're like most likely he's a Jake, and guess what? He's a Jake too. Yeah, because he has a whole album. See right here, look at that's the whole album right there. And that rapper name is Filthy Rich, and he is a Jake. And the whole album called True Religion. See? You go after these, you're pouring after these idols without you even knowing. Because if you would have known that you were, you know, from Israel, you wouldn't be doing these type of things at all. Because you're making our people go off.
Let me get this in Leviticus 20:5. Then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. And that's what that guy's doing.
And Jake loves his music, so therefore they're listening to that album. And they're going, you know, so they're just making our people, as more people go off them.
Saving up their money so they can buy a foreign shirt.
Yeah. You know, just a $200 or $100 shirt.
Living at their mama's house, not paying no rent, not helping with food.
Yeah. So yeah, so our people need to get edified who they really are. And I'm just gonna close it up right now with my lesson. So it's like a car, right? I just want to give an example. It's like a car, and there's a speed bump right here, and the car has a tire. The speed bump resembles the heathen, and the tire resembles our people. And if that tire doesn't have enough air to go over that speed bump going pretty fast, that tire is gonna mess up. And the air in the tire is a shoe. So therefore, if you have enough air in your tire, which is a shoe, you can go over that speed bump like nothing. Which that speed bump resembles the heathen. So you want to make sure they have enough air, which is true, in you, so you can go over this heathen, so you can know what's up. So therefore, you don't be hitting that speed bump with 5 to 10 psi's. Over here, we're 44 psi's. You know, we over here 44 psi's. But at the same time, you don't want to be 22 psi, which is lukewarm.
Thank you fucking rims.
Yeah. So that's my lesson.
And all these rims are expensive to replace.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit, because that's my lesson. You know, my lesson is about racing. You know, and the first scripture, 1 Corinthians 9:24. Because when you come to this truth, when you come to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, it's like a race, because there's other competitors who want what the Lord is giving.
11 verse 1.
1 Corinthians 9.
precept, second one.
Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, Revelation 3:11, and it says, "Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown."
That's what Yahweh Shai is giving out. So since he's giving out these crowns, it's a race now because all these brothers want it. Who wants it the most?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Because we're all thinking about that crown. You see, the crown, when I say the crown, it's not just a piece of metal that's going to shine forever. It's authority, power, and what comes with authority and power, which is not just the land in Israel, the whole planets, in the galaxies, across the universe. But most of these people don't understand that. You know why they don't understand it? Because it's unattainable to them. And you know why we're striving our hardest to be in the truth? Because we can see ourselves putting our head forward and getting that crown. We can see ourselves accomplishing that. I can see myself saying, yeah, boy, yeah.
That honor, you know.
And man, and the things are going to change. But about racing, no matter what you're doing, it's always a competition. Because if you fail at work, well, what happens? You get fired. If you lose a race, you lose your place.
Kind of like for me at work, we're picking pomegranates right now. But if you're the last one, they're gonna tell you, hey, you need to hurry up, You don't want to be that, you want to be at, like by where the people are at, or you want to be a little ahead of them. You just don't want to be left behind, because that's gonna make you look bad.
You want to be that guy that everybody's
Yeah, it's awful,
So go ahead and get that.
1 Corinthians, was it 10?
1 Corinthians 9:24.
9 and 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain.
So a good example is NASCAR. There's a lot of racers, and they're all racing for one prize, and an example of that is, a lot of racers is the brotherhood. Those are the racers. We're racing against them because if one of them slips up, they're going to the back of the race. They're going to the back of the line.
You gotta go to that pit. What's that? Pit stop.
Pit stop, yeah.
Pit stop.
Yeah, pit stop too. So these 2/3, they're way back. They're way in the back. But the 144,000 prophets, we're in the front. We're all in the front racing. But we're not really racing. It's like we're that race where you hand the baton.
Oh,
We're just passing the
relay race.
the baton, the relay race.
Because we're all one body.
Because we're all in the front line, But the 2/3, they done blew out their tire.
And when you run, you're running hard and your blood is pumping. There's trillions of cells inside your body working together to keep you going. Because you have to have your clean blood system, you have to have oxygen to feed those muscles to keep moving. Because remember when I said I got a cramp, that's because there wasn't any oxygen. I was swinging a hammer and my fucking hand got cramped up. I had to take a pit stop. Right? Because I was going hard, and then you got to make sure that your car has the fuel, which is the Holy Scriptures, 16:11 preferably, and the right names. And the right names are the cars. You ain't gonna be in a race for the Yahweh Shem Shai in a car named Jesus. The Jesus wagon gonna win. And nobody goes up to the race line and says, I'm gonna get third place, just watch.
Yeah.
Just wait and see, I'm gonna get third place. Forget first and second.
So if this one want to get Philippians 3 and 14, and then we go on to Hebrews 12 and 1. Because it says, run so that you can obtain, so you can get it. Get the prize. So that's the only purpose, the only purpose is to finish the race,
Okay. Philippians 3 and 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of power in Yahushua Mashiach.
Read that again.
I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Mashiach Yahushua.
So he said, I press toward the mark. And what mark is that? That's a spiritual mark. You know, that's the mark we're trying to get. Because if you got that mark, that's like your ticket.
You see that car said Matrix. And we're living in the Matrix. And you have to get that mark. See, that was spiritual.
Yeah, that is a matrix.
And then her tire looked kind of flat, too.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you seen that on this side?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that car's dirty and everything. You think that car's gonna win that race?
With that low tire?
No professional. I got that in Hebrews 12.
Read that again, Salami.
Yeah. Philippians 3 and 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Mashiach Yahushua.
So that's what you got to do is you got to press. It says press toward the mark. So let me get the definition for press. It's Strong's G1377. And it's to seek eagerly, earnestly, endeavor to acquire. So you gotta want it. How bad do you want it? You gotta want it eagerly. But not only that, you gotta get it earnestly. You gotta earn it. You know?
Like Too Short said, you gotta get it while the getting is good.
Yeah. Get it while the getting is good.
I have more definitions on that word mark. I'll skip one. So the H68, it says Tony Art, ice sacred object. But as memorial, Samuel set up to mark where Yahweh helped Israel defeat the Philistines. So a mark is to represent something, right? We have a mark that represents Yahweh Shai. That's the mark.
It's a mark for the prize. You got a mark for the prize, and then you got a mark for destruction. You know, a mark. That's how Yahweh Shem Yahushai does it. That's why he marked the devil. You know, to show, so that we could see who it is. You know?
That's spiritual because he marked Cain so that the whole world could see he's a serpent. He's a dirty, filthy snake.
Yep.
That was his mark.
But he didn't do it so that the whole world could find out. He only did it so that his hopeful elect could find out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's true because
He made it hidden.
He made it hidden and secret. So only the righteous people know.
So if we tell you, hey, I'm pressing toward this mark to get the prize, they'll be like, what mark are you talking about? You know.
Yeah.
Mark, you can't see it, you know. So with that, let's go to Hebrews.
I got Hebrews 12 and 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sign which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us.
That was Hebrews 12.
Yeah. It's worded differently because of the.
First, let's get Galatians. Galatians 5 and 7. We'll get that
This is Galatians 5 and 7. You did run well, who did hinder you, that ye should not obey the truth. Man, that's right.
So they say you did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth?
Who?
So, like an example, we got brothers that come into this thing and they're on fire. You know, their spirit. You know, it looks like they wanna. It looks like they wanna put out videos. They wanna come to camp and all that. You know, but something's wrong. You know, they don't have the right. They don't have the right tires on their car. You know, Because if you've seen that movie Days of Thunder,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Days of Thunder, I sent this brother a video, and he tells the driver, the owner tells the driver, he says, tires is what wins a race. You know, if you can't drive in a long race without burning the tires, then you ain't gonna win. You know.
Gotta conserve the tire doing.
Yeah. So the tires represent the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is the Holy Spirit. If you ain't got the Holy Spirit, your tires are gonna burn out. They're gonna, you know, you're gonna have to pit. You're gonna have to pit real early in the race. You know. But if you got the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, if you got the patience, you're gonna circle around that track until the finish line. You know.
Just like that movie, Shake and Bake, or Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby was always confident because he was winning races because of his homeboy.
Oh yeah. The one that do the shake and bake.
He would always do the shake and bake. You see, they had a thing, and they were always saying shake and bake, and then the other guy was like, "Hey man, when can I win?"
Yeah.
You see, you think Ricky Bobby's gonna give him first, let him win?
He's like, no, you're doing good on second. I think what was it saying too? Ricky Bobby's, if you ain't first, you're last. I think that's it, right?
So they told him to his face.
If you ain't first, you're last, or something like that.
And then he was talking to his son. He was like, "You see, son, you don't want to be last."
Yeah.
Yeah, because the owner was teaching the driver, because the owner knows everything, you know. The driver is the one learning. And he told him, let's do 50 laps my way, and let's do 50 laps your way. And then at the end, you could look at the tires, and the owner won because his tires were nice and, you know, they weren't burnt, and the other tire was all ate up, you know. It was like the springs were coming out and shit.
Oh, you see though, that's bad.
Bad driving. It's called bad driving.
So, what way is that? The Great Millstone Way. You know, that's how you're not gonna burn up your tires. But the other tires, that's the IUIC. You know, that's the GOCC. They burning up their tires.
They're always making pit stops.
Yeah.
Hebrews 12:1. This is the book of Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sign which doth and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us.
So it said, let us lay aside every weight. So the owner, he was telling the driver, he was saying, before when you used to race, the body of your car was heavy, but the tires were light, you know. So that's why he was burning up his tires. But now, he said he changed it. He said now he made the weight of his car light, and now the tires are heavy. You see, he flipped it around.
Yeah.
So,
which is true, it does make sense, because that is true. The car does go faster.
So if you got a heavy body but light tires, that means the sin is weighing down on you.
And then more work for the tires.
More work for the tires. You're burning up those tires. So and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And that's what we're doing. You gotta be able to know how to move in and out of the lanes. You know, you gotta know when to pass, because on that movie Days of Thunder, he did like a little trick, you know, because he was always going to the wall. He would always pass to the wall, to the outside. On the it was on the inside. Yeah, the inside, because he always liked to go through the wall. I think it was. But the other driver, he knew that he liked to do that, so he faked him out. He acted like he was gonna go high, and then he's always going high. and then
You're going
and then
full.
and then he switch it, and then he goes, no, he's going low, you know, and then that's when he just it took him, you know.
And there's also a thing called zero G's. If you're going fast and you're right behind that car, that's why he did that.
Yeah.
You catch the zero gravity and it makes it faster. And when you pass that car, there's nothing that other car can do.
Yeah, because I forgot what it's called. It's not drifting. I think it's not drifting, but when you're right behind the car, it's like you don't have.
There's no resistance.
You're using less gas because of the wind. You know, the wind.
Zero wind. That's what it's called, zero
Yeah.
wind.
Oh, okay.
Because the wind is blocking. You know.
See, so the Bible is blocking the wind for you. So we can make that turn. We can get first place because it's taking all the pressure, right? That's why they call it zero wind, because there's no wind there. The first car is taking all the wind.
I think it's called drafting.
Yeah, drafting or something. Yeah, because it's not drifting, it's the drag, you catch the draft.
Yeah.
And it slingshots you past it.
Yeah. Second Timothy 4:7.
This is 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
So this is this Peter? I think this is Peter, or Timothy.
So it's Paul talking to Timothy.
Paul. That's it. So he said, I fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So that means that he made it. He made it to the end. Just like how Yahushua said when he was on the cross, it is done. You know, that's it. You know, that's what we're trying to get to.
So we can't be afraid of that finish line. Because that finish line is scary.
That finish line is right there. You know, we can see it. All we got to do is hurdle over it.
And you've seen those guys race, they fucking jump when they get close just to get that little 1 inch.
Oh yeah, I think they like go like that or
Yeah.
2 or something. They're like,
Yeah,
just to get that. Yeah.
Because it's called a photo finish. And whoever passes that marker, see that word marker, that's the winner. So if you got a big ass nose, then you gotta stick your nose out. You know?
yeah, you got to stick your nose out and find out what's going on in the Bible. You know.
Yeah, sticking on to
And this is the safest thing in the world. If you stick your nose into demolition, you might hit yourself with the hammer. See, my friend hit me with the hammer right there. But because of karate, I've been punching trees since I was a little kid. That really didn't hurt.
Yeah, someone else that would have hurt them.
Yeah.
Bad, you know?
Oh God, I gotta go home. But the things that we do prepare us for this race. Everybody has a different race. Because we all have to carry the baton. You see, I started the race, passed the baton over here, and he passed the baton over there. But it was all through the Holy Spirit, and it was all like a chain.
Yeah, like the truth, he gave it to me, and he gave it to me.
And my lesson went into his lesson went into his lesson, and his lesson went into my lesson. And we don't call each other up. And, hey, man, I'm gonna do this project right here. No, everybody did it on their own accord.
Yeah.
Through the Spirit.
It was spiritual because my lesson I talked about the tire of the air, and then you were
That's
talking
what
about
led me
race.
into this lesson.
Yeah.
And Baba Kashad just saw that last verse, Salakia, read that again.
2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept faith.
So he said, I fought a good fight. So what does it mean to fight? It means to enter a contest, contend in the gymnastic games, to contend with adversaries. Who's our adversaries? You know, the devil and his demons out here. You know?
Heathen, what I talked
I
about.
told you that in the first lesson. And then he went into the heathen.
And these 2/3 too are adversaries.
Yeah, because they'll trip you up. You know how in baseball,
Can't trust them.
if someone hits a home run and you catch the ball and you throw it to the infielder, that home run is canceled?
Oh, yeah. Baseball.
Yeah. So these fucking 2/3 are, yeah, he's going to walk, he's gonna hit it grand slam, but I'm gonna throw it back to the fucking first baseman. They're fucking straight up bitches. It'll be like they're trying to trip you guys up.
Yeah.
And then also to contend, to struggle with difficulties and dangers. What are we doing? We're struggling with what this devil's putting out. You know?
And at any time, you can send a little hit squad just to scare us, because that's all it can do is scare us. Because we're competing with demons, Edomites, heathens, other nations, our own selves. It's a full-on competition.
Motherfuckers are making problems for us.
And that car is called the Zion. And we're trying to compete for Zion. And look at that. He's just creeping slow. Zion. Why? Because we can all catch up to him. We can all catch up to that and win the race. It's attainable. Like I said, I'm going to read this one again. This is good. For 2 Timothy 4:7, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
Even the one 8, can I read it? Second book Timothy 4:8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Most High, the righteous Judge, shall give me in that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love His appearing. That was 8 right there too.
Alright, so this race is a hard race, you know?
Yeah. So verse 19 tells you, do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. Do your work, so that race is long. But if you want to make it short, you got to do the diligence.
Because we're already ahead, you know?
That's like the finish line is over there, that wall.
He's down, 2/3 are still in the pit stop, you know?
There's
But
a whole lot of
they-
fixing to do.
Their pit crew, you know, their pit crew is like in that movie Days of Thunder. The driver, right? He was fucking up. He was fucking up on the racetrack. So the owner got mad. He was like, you know what? You're fucking up so much. You're hitting everything out there. Just go ahead and hit the pace car too. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, they were all sitting down eating ice cream right in the pit stop. And then he was like, the driver was like, I got a pit. But then the owner was like, we can't right now. We're eating ice cream. You know. So, hey,
You got to do it the way the boss says. The boss is your house shop.
you better learn how to drive on that racetrack.
But they have those heavy tires. Because you have a heavy car.
And then too, there was a big crash, right? A big smoke, a big ass smoke pile, and he didn't know if he could get through it or not. You know, his owner was telling him, like, "Are you all right? Are you all right? You gonna say nothing?"
Yeah.
But he got through it. He got through it, and then after he got through it, he was like, "I'm out of here." He started patching up all these cars. You know, that's like us. You know. We get a faith booster, and then we're gone.
Yeah. Passing off cars, you know.
Let me get this one too. 2 Timothy 4:5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
That's every side of the game. You know, we have to be on every side. You know?
It's like in bowling, you have some spares left. You gotta get those spares, or you're gonna have a low score.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying, and two, you gotta watch out for other drivers, because they have what's called nudging, you know, or rubbing. You know, they have what's called rubbing, and rubbing is racing. You know. If you're trusting in this world, you know, trusting in these 2/3, you're getting rubbed, you know, by other racers.
You're rubbed the wrong way.
Yeah. So with that, you got anything else? So with that, you know, we hope it's edifying. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Bakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone Camp. for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom.
Shalom.